Bluebell Court?
Well, speaking from just personal experience with my mother, I can't fault it. She is so well cared for. She's only been here a few weeks, and she's so happy. She's looked after, she's clean, she's tidy, she's fed, she's warm. You know, I can't complain about her care at all. I'm just so happy that she's here. She goes to the hairdresser every week. She looks beautiful now. You know, she's almost 95 and she looks a different person since she's been here. It's taken a lot of stress away from me. I've been ill and I couldn't care for her. Her sister's been here for 2 years since the day it opened and used to come to visit her regularly and always very, very impressed. So as far as the residential ward is concerned, I've got no complaints whatsoever. None whatsoever.
Do you think sometimes these reports might completely deal with paperwork? The whole
Yes,
thing?
I think a lot of it is possibly to do with paperwork. As we all know in this world today, paperwork has increased 100%. And I don't think, you know, unless you've got really, really top-class office staff and enough of them to cope with it, they're not going to keep on top of it. But, you know, that's from that point of view. From the resident, or my mother's point of view, and myself as her daughter, I've got no complaints whatsoever. You know, my priority is my mother, and she's happy.
About the report
and
on
I'm
Bluebell
happy.
Court.
Well, we're interested in it. We only found out yesterday, as Thurrock Council obviously keeping an eye on things, and they've had to be very cautious, I think, in this instance. Nevertheless, we found the staff very helpful and trying to put on events and things for the patients. The person I'm visiting is very mentally capable and he's happy to stay here, so I know there's been difficulties in retaining staff and there have been shortages, but I can't tell you much more than that, other than obviously we want to find out a little bit more about things.
Would your friend consider coming out of Bluebell Court on the basis of the report?
No, certainly not at this stage. There's no significant deterioration as far as we're concerned on the
Brand
conditions.
new care home in Bluebell Court in Grays, it's been given the lowest report possible by Cisco.
I think that's very disappointing, and I think the responsibility for that lies fairly and squarely with Thurrock Council. The majority of people, if not all of them, are Thurrock Council customers. A lot of those would have transferred from Elizabeth House. And the council made certain promises to residents and their families of Elizabeth House that when that transfer was going to take place and people were in Bluebell Court and other homes, they'd get a decent standard of care, and that's clearly not the case. They should have been working with Bluebell Court to make sure that their standards match our standards, and it shouldn't have been a complete surprise when this report came out. They should have known about it and nipped that in the bud.
But the council say that they have a very, very good relationship with all the privately run care homes. Is that true in your experience?
Well, they say that. I mean, they would say that, wouldn't they? But the reality is very different. Almost every care home that they've been having this good relationship with has come up with some sort of negative report, and this is the latest in a long line of